Good morning, students. So in today's session we are going to see about the chemical properties of group 16 elements. So already we have discussed the physical properties. Now we are moving into chemical properties. First one is oxidation state. So the oxidation state for the first element in group 16 element is oxygen. So oxygen, it shows generally -2 oxidation state, as it having 2 valence electrons in their outermost shell, 2 free electrons in p orbital. Yes, so for oxygen it will be -2 in all compounds. Most of the compounds it shows -2, but whereas in peroxides like H2O2 and Na2O2 it will be -1, and in OF2 it will be +2. If you move into the superoxides it will be -1/2, and if you see in O2F2 it will be +1. That means it shows the uh, -2, +2, +1 and -1 and -1/2 oxidation states. If we move from sulfur to polonium, the oxidation states are -2, +2, +4 and +6. That means it shows from sulfur to polonium it has a various oxidation states. So if you want to find the oxidation state in any compound like O2F2 or OF2, so to which compound you are finding, you want to find that oxidation state, it will be take it as X. So here O2F2, 2 oxygens are there and you want to find the oxidation state. So that means 2X plus 2. Okay, 2 fluorines are there. What is the valency of fluorine? -1. So 2X plus 2 into -1 equal to 0, and 2X equal to this 2 will go this side, that will be +2. Yes, so X equal to 2/2, that equal to 1. So did you understand now how we got +1 oxidation state? So this is the way how to find the oxidation state of any other element of or any other substance. So look at here, O2F2, we are taking 2X. For oxygen, as we want to find the oxidation state of an oxygen, that is why we have taken 2 into 2 oxygens are 2, its oxidation state taking as X. So 2X plus 2 into 1, 2 into -1 equal to 0, 2X equal to this 2 will go this side, that is +2, that is X equal to 2/2 equal to 1. So this is the how you have to find the oxidation state for any other compounds also. Next, if when they react with hydrogen, okay, so when the oxygen or group 16 elements, when they react with hydrogen, what is the general formula? The general formula will be H2M. So hydrates, they will be forming as hydrates. So H2M, where M is the elements of 68 group elements or 16 group elements. For example, look at here, H2O, H2S, H2Se, H2Pe, H2PO. Understand? So here 2 hydrogens will be combining with an element of a 68 group elements to form some compounds. So when hydrogen combines with any other element, they are called as hydrates. So the binary compounds of hydrogen with chalcogens are known as hydrates, or are called hydrates. So they are usually prepared by the action of an acid on a binary compound with metal. That means these hydrates are prepared when see, look at here, when they shows the action of acid on any other binary compound, like see, look at here, this is sodium oxide. Sodium oxide, when reacts with hydrochloric acid, what they form? The sodium combines with chlorine to give salt, and this oxygen will combine with hydrogen to form water. So Na2O plus 2HCl gives rise to NaCl plus H2O. Next, any other example, that is FeS. Iron sulfide combines with sulfuric acid, gives iron sulfide. First element of the first compound always reacts with the second element of the second compound. So FeS combines with SO4, okay, ferrum sulfate plus hydrogen sulfate. That means it releases hydrogen sulfate. So we got it here, H2O and H2S. If we see the structure of H2O, it will be like this. Here 2 lone pair also will be present, because in p orbital 2 lone pair electrons, 2 unpaired electrons will be paired. That unpaired electrons will be combining with hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, and 1 lone pair will be present. And if we see the structure is angular in structure. And what type of hybridization they will show? They will show sp3 hybridization. Understand, children? So all these hydrates except water are gases. So here we got hydrogen sulfide. So this is also a gas. and except water. Water is a liquid. Okay, so the hydrates which are formed with these elements are always gases only except water. Okay, first element of the 6A group element, 6A group is oxygen. So this oxygen, when combines with hydrogen, they form a liquid, that is water. Understand? So they are highly volatile substances. Means what? They can be easily evaporate. As they are gases, they can be easily evaporate, and they are having foul smelling. Understand? Foul smelling means the smell which is not pleasant, and they are poisonous in nature. And if you see, hydrogen sulfide is most volatile, that means they can easily evaporate. They can easily evaporate. If you see their order of volatility, so H2S is greater than H2SE. So H2 is having most volatile in nature, so that is why H2S is greater than H2SE. H2S is greater than H2, Te is greater than T2O. Sorry, H2. Understand, children? Next comes to order of stability. Okay, which is the most stable? Hydrogen, that is water, is more stable in nature. So H2 is more stable than H2S. H2 is more stable than H2SE. H2S is more stable than H2Te. Understand? If you see the order of boiling point, so hydrogen will be having high boiling point due to strong bond between oxygen and hydrogen. Understand? Due to their small atomic size, so they are having strong bond between the hydrogen and oxygen, so it is having high boiling point. Okay, so that is why when we see the order of boiling point, if H2O is greater than H2S, H2 is greater than H2SE, H2SE is greater than H2Te. Understand? Next we move into reaction with oxygen. They form two types of oxides, EO2 type and EO3 type, where E is the element of the 6A group elements. So ozone, okay, ozone is the best example. O3 and SO2 are gases, while SeO2 is a solid. Okay, when this oxygen, three atoms of oxygen combines with each other to form ozone. So ozone is a gas, and SO2, sulfur dioxide, is also a gas, and where SeO2 is a selenium. Okay, selenium dioxide is a solid. When we see the reducing property of dioxides decreases from SO2 to tellurium, SO2 to TeO2. Understand? So SO2 is having a strong reducing property, or it acts as a reducing agent, whereas TeO2 act as a oxidizing agent. So both type of oxides are acidic in nature. So what are this one, EO2 type and EO3 type, both oxides are acidic in nature. Next, reaction towards halogens. So they form large number of halides of all types like EX6, EX4 and EX2, where E is the element of a 6A group elements. Understand? If you see, they form like SF6, SF6. So look at here their order of stability. When we move when they react with these halides means they may be chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine. Understand? The order of stability, if you see, fluorine is greater than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, and bromine is greater than iodine. So among these, hexahalides and hexafluorides are only stable halides and which are gaseous in nature. When this group 6A elements combines with these halides in their form, hexahalides and hexafluorides are only more stable halides and which are in gaseous state in nature, and they have octahedral structure. Understand? SF6 is an exceptionally stable for steric reason. SF6 means, see, look at their structure S, and when sulfur combines with 6 fluorine, they are having octahedral structure, and it cannot be easily hydrolyzed. Understand? So as it is having this structure, it cannot be hydrolyzed easily, and they show this sp3d hybridization. Understand, children? Simple. When this group 6A elements combines with halogen, they form halides. The order of stability, if you see, fluorine is greater than chlorine, chlorine is greater than bromine, bromine is greater than iodine. So when they combined with these elements, the order of we have to follow the order of stability. Among the all, hexahalides and hexafluorides are only stable halides. Why? Because they are gaseous in nature and they are having octahedral structure. And we have taken one example, that is SF6. SF6 is exceptionally stable for their steric reasons. Understand? So they cannot be hydrolyzed easily. Next comes to anomalous behavior of oxygen. What do you mean by anomalous behavior of oxygen? So like other members of P block present in second period, it's due to its small size and high electronegativity, they show anomalous behavior. So oxygen shows anomalous behavior because due to its small size and high electronegativity. So what is the best example? One typical example of effects is small size and high electronegativity in the presence of strong hydrogen bond. When we see the strong hydrogen bond is present between H2O, then if you see in H2S, that means H2S is a strong hydrogen bonding which we cannot found in H2S. Understand? Due to its small size and high electron, strong bond will be found between hydrogen and oxygen. It is not seen in hydrogen and sulfide. And why it is happened? Because oxygen is not having d orbital. Understand? The absence of d orbital in oxygen limits its covalency to 4, and in practice, if we see, it exceeds only 2. If you see the remaining elements, the valency shell can be expanded. That means they can show various valency, and the covalency exceeds to 4. But whereas in oxygen, it will be limited. Okay, it will be limited to 2. Why? Because only 2 unpaired electrons will be present. But whereas in the remaining elements can be the valency shell can be expanded, and the covalency can also be expanded to exceeds to 4. So this is about anomalous behavior of oxygen. So in your next class we are going to deal with the preparation of dioxygen. Thank you, children.